Um, good morning, guys.
Showtime.
Everybody.
Good morning.
Kind of
Good
a
morning.
kind of a.
Hope.
Steve's breaking up. Um, Kind of a impromptu special show today. This is kind of what I was expecting last week, and I had the dates wrong. So anyway,
Yeah, you were a week off.
Steve is up at Train Mountain, and you can see him sitting on his Santa Fe switcher there, and then Chuck
in the sunshine. It's not raining, and we've got a special guest. We got Chuck, CDP 1965. I don't know who that is. Somebody's just pulling in. I don't know if that's Tim or not. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of wing it today, and I got no plans. Tim is the gentleman is on our intro from last year when I was up here last year, and this is his little engines mogul, and he was supposed to be here to fire it up. Hopefully he'll show up. He said he'd probably be here like 7 or a little after, but can answer any questions anybody wants to ask. And I'm just thankful that it's sunny, it's blue. It just poured here yesterday. I mean, absolutely poured. We were like, oh, this isn't going to be fun.
Yeah,
that is Tim. Hey, get your butt over here. Get your butt over here now. He's over there like, what?
He doesn't realize he's on the air, or going to be on the air.
Hey, we're waiting on you, dude. Huh? You said 9 o'clock. He wanted me to change the show yesterday. Well, it'd be a lot easier if you just did the show at 9 instead of 7. But he's like, so he had to get up early because he lives in Lapine, so he's an hour and 20 minutes away. So he decided not to camp in the rain last night. I mean, it just poured until about midnight, and then it just stopped. It was like, you think he did make the smart decision?
Yes.
So
Bernard says it was
going to fire.
Bernard says it was dust control.
Dust control. I wonder if I should take the earbuds out. I don't think Tim can hear you guys. Yeah.
May not.
I'm going to take these off. Yeah, let me just take these off. How'd that go? Let me put these away. Okay, testing, Claude? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, now we got the compressor on. Now, I should put the camera over to Tim's locomotive. Can you see? Can you guys see it? I can't see.
We can see it. Mainly from head on, almost head on, of course. But
okay, well, I'm gonna let's see.
If you can move it, Steve, if you can move to your right.
To the right?
Yeah. The other side of, yeah, there you go.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's a little better look.
But I can't see what's in there.
That looks fine.
Okay. I'm gonna put, he can't hear you anyway, so you can hear him now? Okay. So it takes him normally about 4 hours to fire this up.
Okay, well I'm gonna mute you just a minute and talk to the chat, and then you'll be back on here.
There you go.
Well, good morning, everybody. Again, good to see some of you in here. Heath and Roy and John. Good to see you, John. Where you at now, John? Sheep Boy, good morning. Oh, Sheep Boy, did you get the decals, by the way? Fred Wild, good morning. Dwight. Hey, Michael McCarville's here. Good morning, Mike. Who else is here? Rob T-Man's here. Good morning. Bernard's here. Bernard's here. Sorry, I had to mute him. I don't know why it keeps trying to come through. Anyway, let's see who else is here. Steam Fan Lover. Good morning. You're in for a treat this morning. If you can get this thing fired up quick enough, I'm not sure exactly how long it takes him to fire it up. This is Steve's friend up there in Oregon. His name's Tim Parks, and he's got the live steam engine there. Hey, Marty, good to see you. Joe, Steve Anderson, good morning. Hey, Jason, good to see you. Well, guys, like I said, this is kind of a special impromptu. Steve's up at Train Mountain. It rained till about midnight last night, and it's 73 degrees, not 73 degrees. It's supposed to get to 73 today up there. It's 37 right now, Chuck was saying, which I wish I was up there because it's probably 85 out here this morning and probably that much humidity. It's just, it's really nasty here. But anyway, I want to turn them back on, and you guys have any questions you want to ask Steve about Train Mountain, about the engines, ask Tim about his steam loco. I'm sure they'll be happy to answer them for you. And Jason, take care. And John, good morning. Rob, good morning. Anyway, I'm going to turn the sound back on Steve here.
Oh.
And you guys can ask some questions.
No wonder we can't hear.
Yeah, I had you muted. Anyway, you're back on.
Yeah, once he gets his fire lit, it takes about 45 minutes.
What? You're too far away. I can't hear you, Steve. Michael, it's up by Chillicothe. I think that's how they pronounce it. Oregon, just north of Klamath Falls, is where Train Mountain is. It's about, Steve says it's about a 2-hour drive from Grants Pass, from where he lives.
Yeah, it's Chiloquin, Oregon.
Chiloquin, Oregon. Actually, if you go to Google Maps and type in Train Mountain, it'll go right to it. Yeah, I think I'd have to have one of those if I was up in that area. To the dismay of my wife, I'm sure.
He's an arrogant guy. Yeah, I told him I was showing him pictures and everything. He was like, oh, I'd be doing it up there. Mine's a little easier to fire up. I just turned it on and
that angle okay, Claude, or can I move closer?
Can you hear me, Steve?
Kinda.
The compressor's kind of loud, but yeah, I can barely hear you.
I'm wondering if I can hear him. Yeah, I'm not even hearing him. I'm gonna hang on.
Steve Anderson, he does have some AirPods.
But then, yeah, I do. Hang on a second. AirPods. Camera. Hang on a second. Cam mic, there we go. Front camera, back camera. Done. Okay, how's that?
That's good.
Okay, maybe I should just hold my phone.
Bill with New Fenris wants to know what the wheel arrangement is on the loco, on the steam loco.
It's a Mogul. It's a 260. Here, let me.
Oh,
I
and I
don't
can
know.
answer this. I can answer this one. Heath wants to know if yours is electric or is there a diesel motor in it? I believe
Mine,
it's gasoline,
yeah,
correct?
it's a gasoline hydraulic. I've got a, basically it's a riding lawnmower on rails.
Oh, that's a beautiful engine. Yeah, my wife would be upset with me because I'd have to have one of those
Yeah.
or something similar.
Yeah, well, like I said, they had a narrow gauge meet here last weekend, and this place was full of narrow gauge stuff.
Oh,
Which,
wow.
this is inch and a half scale, and runs on a 7.5 inch track. If you run narrow gauge, it runs on the same track, but it's 2.5 inches to the foot instead of inch and a half to the foot. So the equipment is much bigger, and it's pretty cool. But this is over here. This is the other side of the back shop. I don't know if you can hear me or even see
Yeah,
in there.
yeah. See, we can see and hear you.
Okay, because there's a lot of trains in here too. Um, some of these are privately owned, and I guess I don't know. They just store them here. But I'll just kind of pan around a little bit. But this is Train Mountain. Just this is the back shop area, and over towards that signal bridge up there, you get towards the main building and Crisp Yard, the turntable, and whatnot. These containers right here, members can either purchase them or rent them or lease them and store their equipment in them. And they're, converted shipping containers. They've got 3 tracks in them. They've got, electricity in them. Between the two, there's a transfer table that um, actually there's quite a few. I don't know exactly how many. I think there's like 20, 25 containers here. Um, I don't remember what they charge to rent them, but over where those trees are is 6-acre campground, and that's where the cheap people like me stay. So I've got a camping setup over there, and it was just pouring last night. I mean, just insane. So anyway, we'll go back to over here. Let me know if the internet for me working around too much, walking around is not working, Cloud. Okay. Hello. Hey Chuck, but is this still on? Is this still on? Because I can't hear Claude.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe he muted me because I don't hear him now.
No, he's got me muted.
Okay, he must have me muted because I don't hear him.
I'm gonna wait for the host to finish.
Ah.
I don't think that's
Did you want me unmuted or muted?
I don't think that spigot's been used in a while. The water's brown. Ooh. Yeah, so I'm gonna let it pour for a minute. That's all we're waiting on there.
Okay, sorry about that,
Now
Steve.
I see Claude.
Oh, I thought me walking around messed it up.
No, I was trying to do something else and I hit the wrong button, of course.
I would love to take you guys into the back shop and show you the machine shop, but I think I'd lose the internet connection. But it's a fully stock machine shop. You can build just about anything there. It's they got mills, lathes, presses. You know, anything you want to do to build, you can do it. You can paint, sandblast.
I might be able to do it from.
Hey, Steve,
Yeah,
Bernard's got a question. What kind of boiler pressure does the steam engine run on?
I think he's running at 100, and I think the safeties pop at 105. I'll ask him when he comes over here. But the one I used to run, the Allen 10 wheeler, that was set for 105. The first safeties would one safety would pop at 105, the next one popped at 110.
I've got a question. What are there requirements as far as permits or safety type stuff that you have to adhere to? I'm sure for a steam engine.
Well, it has to have a hydro boiler inspection just to make sure that it's safe. But that's Train Mountain's pretty loose about that. Some clubs require a boiler certificate that it's been tested. Some don't. Train Mountains is pretty, they're pretty loose about the restrictions on that. They're more into the fun instead of enforcing rules. Did that answer your question?
Yeah,
Okay.
it did. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I know it could be very dangerous if it blew up. So I mean,
Well,
I
these
would
things
think
actually they hydro them at twice the pressure. So if your safeties pop at 100, say 110 is your high pressure, you can hydro it to 220 pounds. So there's no way these things are going to blow up. Well, I mean, I guess you could, but you'd have to get the pressure so high before it would start leaking. It'd probably leak before it would blow up. But when you hydro a live steam locomotive to test the boiler, you basically just fill it up with water. You take
yeah,
the safeties off, which are right. These are right here. These are the two safeties, and you take those off and plug them, and then fill the boiler with water. And once it's sealed, then you pump it up to twice the pressure of the boiler, and you look for water leaks.
yeah.
And
How often do they change the safety valve, relief valve?
only if they fail.
Okay.
They're pretty reliable.
Well, similar to a water heater then.
Yeah. But if generally, when you're running them, you got to get a feel for the pressure that you have, and you'll get one to pop, but usually you don't get two to pop. Then you're just wasting fuel, boiling water just waiting. Yeah, we're just waiting on Tim because the water hadn't been purged in a while. Nobody used this hose, so it was brown, and he didn't want to pump brown water into his.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Into,
Not clearing up completely, so I think I'll put a little bit in.
uh-huh.
And I'll just fill up when we get down to the station.
Okay.
Now, is this run on propane?
Yeah, they require that here. You can't run any solid fuels because of the fire danger. They used to, you could, coal, wood or briquettes or whatever, but no, now you have to be propane fired or you can't run here.
William A's got a question. Let me
Hi,
get it
Bill.
up so I can read it. What would be a rough startup cost for someone interested in getting into live steam, basic, no frills engine?
It would be steam or diesel, which would you be going with? Because you've got different options. You've got live steam, you've got gas, and you've got electric. Electric is getting very popular.
Well, he said live steam, so
Live steam, okay. That would be a good question for Tim, but you're probably looking at anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000, to pick up, a decent used locomotive.
so about what you build a home layout for.
Yeah. No, we had a question. What would be the basic startup cost for somebody that wanted to get into live steam?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, yeah, depends on how much you want to spend.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that goes with any hobby.
Yeah,
I think.
live steam.
An actual steam engine.
Yeah. If somebody wanted to get into entry level live steam, what,
10,000.
yeah, 10,000. Yeah.
Easily. Because
Yeah.
there's the locomotive cost, but then you got to realize you got to spend all that money on the tools as well. So
And a way to transport it.
and a way to transport it. So easily $10,000 on the low end. And you're not going to find anything like this for that price. I'm talking like a little Allen 040 or something like that. A little. There's a company called Maxi Tracks, and they make a little 040 tank engine for around that price.
Mm-hmm. Well, and if you also buy a problem too, you got to be able to afford to fix the problems.
And that's the thing too. You got to keep in mind with the steam engine is that it's going to keep costing you money because it will always give you problems. Right. And if you buy a steam engine and it doesn't give you problems, you didn't buy a steam engine. And your other option is,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Bernard's got a question.
Someone's got a question. Okay.
Bernard says they run soft water. Oh, yuck, Steve. He said, do they run descaler in the tender?
Yes. So let's see here. I can hold this up to the camera. This is LSB 8000. It's a model boiler treatment. And what it does is it takes all the contaminants and scale and everything else in the boiler and it suspends it in the water until you do your blowdown. And this is the LSB 8000 is the model boiler treatment, and we use LSB 4000 on the full-size steam locomotives.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And just in case anybody doesn't know, Tim is a fireman on the Oregon Coast Scenic Railroad. So he's a fully qualified railroader.
That's just too cool.
I guess, yeah, he said, I guess you could call him that. But
Not as qualified as a railroader as you. So.
well, then you're not qualified because I'm not a railroader anymore.
Bill's got a question. Makes sense on cost. He says I'm right about the cost of building a layout.
Yeah.
Well, and Bill should know because he's got 3 different ones. So.
Yeah. Really. Well, see, Bill, you could sell all 3 of your layouts and get into live steam. You could just
there you go, Bill.
Scale.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all model railroading. I think we determined that once.
Of course, you have to have some place to run the thing. It's not like you're going to have a lot of track in your backyard.
And that's true. Yeah. And that's if you're going to build your own backyard railroad, there is a cost right there. It's going to be insane. Because that's what Eric is doing on the Minnesota. What is it? The Minnesota RRM. His name is Eric. We're gonna have him as a guest at some point. But yeah, he's building a loop in his backyard.
Depending on what you build out of, it can cost you about $5 to $6 a foot.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Now you have a 1,000-foot track, which is not that much, and you got $6,000 in track.
Right.
Well, Bill says maybe when he retires.
There you go.
Technically, I'm retired.
All I know is Bill's saving more money than I am.
Let's see if I'm going to move this like this. Let's see. There. Now we can see. Now he's putting water into the boiler.
And he's got a not a question but a statement. He says he really wants a silver spoon style train from my mansion. I'm having trouble remembering that train. I remember there was a train on there, but I don't remember anything about it because it's been 30 years since that's been on. That show's been on.
It's your fault, Heath.
Yeah, Heath, find us a picture of it, man. Yeah, Roy says he's got to get to having the mansion stage first before he can have the train.
Is that Roy Hardwick or Roy Eltham?
No, Roy Eltham. No, I haven't seen Hardwick in yet this morning.
Oh, he'll probably show up right at the end like last week.
Yeah, probably so. He's probably steaming toward a truck stop now so he can get on. So what was the startup time on this again?
45 minutes once he gets the fire lit. So we can run a long show if you want. That's up to you guys. Depends on. I have no idea what time it is.
It is. We've got we've been in 25 minutes, almost 25 minutes.
Okay.
So we got 35 left.
If anybody has any other questions, Tim will be happy to answer them. Because I don't want to give the wrong one and look like an idiot.
You want me to walk?
You don't have to do that.
I don't have to, that's not a long trip.
You want me to walk in there, Steve? I'll probably lose signal.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, walk in and tell you lose signal, and if anybody's got any questions about in there, they've got 3 tracks that you can get your trains on and get bays and get underneath them and look at them. There's a hoist track, you can lift stuff up. There's a scale.
The whole building is dug about 3 feet into the ground, so the track is level on the ground, and then when you pull it inside, it's elevated because the building sinks down.
Yeah, Chuck's going to try to show you guys in there. You can't see what you see, but if you got any questions from what Chuck's video is showing.
Yeah, in fact, I'll enlarge Chuck's. Bill from New Fenris has a question. Do they make an 848, a 484, boy, dyslexic am I, an 1.5-inch scale?
Yes, they do. And they're very, very expensive.
Buddy expensive. Yeah, I can imagine.
In fact, there's really no limit to how fancy you can get these things. Some guys have them absolutely to scale. They're just incredible locomotives that look real.
People have big boys. People have exact replica.
Yeah.
K30, anything you can think of, it's in the hobby.
And they haul their train around in matching toy haulers that have, $1 million motor homes behind it, and they go around the country. So yeah, it all depends on your budget and how much you want to spend.
Yeah, RC airplanes were the same way. You could build as fancy a looking airplane, and there was a guy in Wisconsin that did. He had some beautiful, great, big, giant airplanes that were all remote control. So yeah, as far as your pockets are deep, you can go into any of the hobbies.
Well, there was a guy here, and I can't remember. It's a Canadian. I believe it's a Pacific, and I think the number is 6060. Don't quote me on that.
Oh, that Canadian National.
Oh, Canadian National. He's got basically a tractor truck that carries his train. It's all designed for that. It's all hydraulic, hidden into the frame of the truck that puts his whole locomotive and train in this tractor, and then he tows his $1 million fifth wheel behind that, and it's all painted to match the Canadian Pacific 2020 or 1660 or whatever it is. It's just insane. I mean, the thing's got to be well over $1 million easily. So I mean, if you've got deep pockets, you can really piss your wife off. Can I say that?
Sure.
Okay. Because I
You
just
did, didn't you? No, we lost Chuck.
Okay, they lost you. So
Yeah, but we got to see the bays and stuff, so that's good.
you kind of get a general idea. But yeah, it's all open to the members, and you can go in there and do whatever you want.
Steve Anderson has a question.
Okay.
So how does the club check the tracks in the morning, like after the weather you just had?
They don't.
That makes Steve run over them.
Yeah, no, they don't. And you carry little green blocks. See this? Whoop. Okay. And if you derail somewhere, you pitch a block down there.
Oh, okay.
And then, there are guys here that do a lot of track work. There are, some devoted members that actually live here or really close. So they're out here all the time working on stuff. And if there's a problem, they'll go out there and see the green blocks and see if there's an issue with the track there. And if you get multiple blocks, then it shows that there is a huge issue that people keep derailing there. So that's kind of how you let them know.
Well, that's a good way of doing that. Especially if you've got, several members that are real devoted to going around and checking the track all the time, that sort of thing.
Speaking of track bulletin for today, the dog walk is closed.
Dog walk is closed. Okay.
Track panels are removed so that they can do maintenance.
Okay. Too bad. Because that was kind of a convenient way to cut up the hill. Now there's a mix of wood ties, plastic ties, steel rail, and aluminum rail. They're scattered all over the place. Most of it is steel rail with plastic ties.
And up at the north end of the property where the fire was last year, that burned basically a third of Train Mountain. It moved so fast. A lot of the track really survived up there. There was some spots where equipment went out and tore it up going over it or driving through it or plowing over it. Um, there's spots where the aluminum rail just melted. But it's still closed up to Hope Circle. I have not been up there yet, but I've seen videos of it, and it's really sad because it's a moonscape now. It used to be a thick forest. Now it's basically clear cut, and it does not look like the same railroad. And,
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's
Well,
really.
I got a question.
Okay.
You were saying plastic ties.
Uh-huh.
Are they like a composite
Yeah.
plastic, like you would find for decking material, something like that?
It's like your Trex decks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. I put one of those in once at my old house, so I'm familiar with that material. It does take a spike. It would take a spike pretty well.
Yeah, well, they use screws here.
Do they? Yeah, that would make even more sense.
There's actually backing up to the fire. There was an interesting story I just heard yesterday, and I don't know if it's true. Supposedly it came from the front office, but you never know. There's a great little spot up there called Crane. That there's a couple of buildings out there. There was an outhouse to go to the bathroom and a water tank, and it was the go-to place for the steamers to stop and fill up and take a break before you continued on up the hill. Well, that survived the fire. It looked like, God said, okay, fire's going to skip over that and burn everything else. So it was really odd that was saved. And we found out yesterday, supposedly, theoretically, that when the fire was in its initial stages, a helicopter pilot was making drops and looked down in the morning and saw these yellow buildings. And so he swooped in and dumped his water buckets on the buildings. And it's entirely possible he thought they were full size because they're pretty big.
Yeah.
So by chance, he saved one of the best parts of Train Mountain up on top of the hill.
I love that water tower.
Yeah, the water tower is pretty cool. There's a tank car up there. It's really cool. It says Gramps.
Well, that's pretty cool.
But yeah, I mean, he, I guess from that altitude, he just going that fast. It's like, oh, buildings! I better go jump. So that was pretty cool.
Steve Bernard has a question.
Okay.
How do they run traffic? Do they have set routes you have to run?
Actually, it's kind of funny. You can't get lost up here because, well, first of all, you can get a map. It's 2,200 acres. There's over 30 miles of track, 20 something of it, all main line, but it's all one way. There's only one section of bidirectional. Well, the dog walk is bidirectional, but that's controlled with signals. A lot of. I mean, they're working block signals up here, and with the turnouts, it's really hard to get lost because it tells you where to go and how to get places. Yeah, you follow the green signs and go uphill, and you'll eventually get back here. So it
might be tomorrow.
Yeah. But now, if you go to the top of the mountain, which is now most of it's closed because of the fire, it would take you 4 hours. I mean, a round trip was 4 or 5 hours.
Wow.
Because it's several miles up to the top of that, and you're only going 7-8 miles an hour. So it take you a couple hours to get up there, a couple hours to get back.
Yeah. Yeah, but what a way to spend some time.
Oh, it's great. Oh, a lot of the wives, they thought it was like going on a hike without having to hike.
I don't know if Chuck can hear us. But he's giving us some great shots of the yard there. Looks like out behind the shops.
Where is he?
Yeah, I hear you. I
He's
turned
up.
my
Well, I'll tell him when he comes back. I don't see him.
No,
So.
he turned his mic on. Yeah, out there where they've got the rail section stacked up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm behind the shop.
Yeah, those are all the track panels. Oh, that's good that his signal's working.
Man, that's impressive. That is just real. I've seen it on on the satellite view on the maps, but to see it like that's really impressive.
Yeah, there's a lot of devoted people around here that do a lot of work.
Oh yeah, well that's like if I lived near Chama, New Mexico, or Antonito, someplace like that, I'd be volunteering, to rebuild the old cars and stuff like that, and
Right.
working the track and all that.
I can't hear you. Yeah. He's going to close the door so we don't listen to that compressor. There's a really friendly atmosphere here. A lot of live steam parks are like every other club. There's the pecking order, and there's the
Yeah.
the good old boys and all that. And it's really not that way here. You pay your dues, become a member, and you have free run of the place, just like anybody else. And people are very friendly, very willing to help you. If something breaks, there's somebody here that's going to know how to fix it.
I've got another question. Chuck's showing us all the track sections that are stacked up back there.
Right.
Do they put those together there in one of the shops and
Yeah.
then install it?
Yes. There's a track shop that they build the track panels and turnouts.
So it's sectional track.
Yeah. Pretty basically, yeah. And
Well, that's
what,
interesting.
they have got it down to a science. They can lay track here really fast. That's why this place is so big.
Yeah.
About it. If he's out by himself, he can lay 5 track panels in a day, and if he has any help, they'll lay 3 track panels in a day.
I know how that works. That's when I get customers ask me if they can help. I said, well, it costs you twice as much.
Yeah. Exactly. But no, they've got some crews out here that could really knock this stuff out. They know how to do it, and they're willing. They want to teach people. They're looking for people that are willing to learn.
Yeah.
Or just help.
Yeah.
Because the yard around where we are, this is called the main yard, where Chuck is showing you on the triennial. Every track here is full. It has a train in it. I mean, every track has somebody in it. So
Yeah.
it's just insane how big it is.
Well, Bernard says it's an amazing place, guys. Who else just put it on their bucket list? And it would be a fantastic place to have a meet, an internet meet on the West Coast.
I think. Well, I've talked to Sparky about that, and at some point we want to do that.
Yeah. Well, we can do it next June. I'll be there.
Yeah. You do it during the triennial.
Yeah. Oh no, I wouldn't. Yeah, it would be neat to have it during the triennial, but I would think it'd be so crowded.
Oh, it would be nuts. It would be absolutely crazy.
That's why I chose not to come during the triennial next year and come after that, because I would like to go there where I can see the place and not just be standing in line with trains all the time.
Well,
although it would be neat to see all the trains, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a trade-off. You'd be seeing some incredible equipment, but you don't have the free run of the place as quick as you'd want to, which is really nice. We're the only ones here. We got the full run of the place, which is nice.
Container Man's here.
Hey, Roy.
Good morning, Roy.
How many we got watching right now? Just out of curiosity.
I do not know. Hang on a second. I think 15, but I don't know for sure. Let me jump over here. And
Our solid 15, that's for sure.
I think that's what that deal means on the StreamYard. Yeah. We got 15 watching.
Well, that's good.
So
we got a solid 15.
But Chuck's given us some fantastic shots.
I don't even see him. I have to look and see where he is.
The video's a little jumpy, but it's almost like seeing snapshots. That was me, Roy, jumping in to see how many were in there. I was the
Probably
16th
because I'm
one.
tripping over everything.
I'm glad he is because I don't see him anywhere.
Well, you guys look like you have a lot of sagebrush up there too. That'll fuel a fire.
Oh yeah, yeah, manzanita too.
Yeah.
To burn really hot.
Steve Anderson, no sir, I'm not coming this year. I'll be coming out there next year. I'm going to Silverton in about 3 weeks with my best friend, and we're going to do some off-roading up to the some of the old mines and stuff like that. But next year, the wife and I are going to head to Oregon and up to Grants Pass, and we're going to make a stop at Train Mountain and spend a day up there with Steve. And
we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, oh yeah, it'll be a good time.
Pictures.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're coming. No.
Yeah, Chuck's the camera we're seeing right now.
Okay. No,
Although he's run out of track, it looks like.
coming in here the
No, that's right there.
day after the triennial, I think.
I'm going to move this back to what we had. There we go.
Okay, that's he's
Now we got Tim oiling her up.
lubing it up. Morning.
Roy, it's Chuck with CDP.
Howdy.
He lives north of Steve about 3 hours. You say 3.5 hours?
Yeah, he's up in
Yeah.
Burns, I think. Yeah.
So he came down this morning to be on the show.
We're going to give him and his granddaughter a ride around. We're going to give him a tour till he has to leave.
Steve Anderson, if you're talking to me, yes, sir. I will not be at Strasbourg.
A lot of track.
The yard can be a little intimidating.
Yeah. No, I can imagine how long it took to put all this together.
Oh, I don't remember when this place started. The 80s? Yeah, I think so. Early 80s, I think. Something like that. And it's just, it wasn't anything like this. It has exploded.
Okay, now, Chuck, the shot you're showing there, is that a full-size caboose and flat cars?
There's a lot of full-size equipment out here.
Is there? Okay. I didn't know that.
No steam locomotives, but well, actually, there's a lot of cabooses up on the mountain. It's called Caboose Ridge. They had the intent. The idea was to put cabooses up there, get them fixed up like cabins, so people go up there and rent them. But the wonderful state of Oregon said that, and this was after they got all these things up scattered around on the mountain, that, well, you have to have them all wheelchair accessible or you can't do it.
Yeah.
So that Nick,
The only way to get to them would be by D.
yeah, you have to go there by train. So I don't know how you're going to take your wheelchair on a train, but anyway, that was nixed.
That's a shame because that's a good idea.
Yeah, but there's cabooses all over the place. There's a couple of snow plows. There's a rotary here.
Track's halfway built up to it.
They even had the track almost built up to the cabooses before they found out they couldn't do it. Now Tim is building a tender for this locomotive. It's a really nice Vanderbilt, because the one that he's sitting on right now weighs 200 pounds. It is empty. That is a big tender, and it's kind of ugly, kind of like Tim.
Yeah, so both of them together.
You put Tim and that tender on, and it's just ugly. What's your pressure at now?
It's still heating up, and it should probably come off the peg here in a minute. I don't know how I did it. My phone said like an hour 50. Like, it told me I wouldn't get here till like 8:10, and I showed up like 25 minutes early. I don't know how I did that. I wasn't really speeding. I was going like 65 the whole way here. I don't know how I managed it.
Yeah, it's not far. Yeah, not far at all. It takes me about an hour. Yeah, hour 10 and hour 15 minutes.
Oh, I see where Chuck is. He really is showing you, but he's showing you the.
Yeah, he's giving us a good tour.
Oh, okay. I wonder if he can walk up to the main building. Steve,
I haven't yet, but I was going to.
I don't know. I don't know if your internet will work up there, but that would be cool. You could kind of show them what's going on up there too.
I have to jump out of here just a second. I'll be right back.
Okay, we'll be here.
I was gonna walk through the campground up there to the main road, but there was some campers over there, so
Yeah, head on up to show them the
fun place.
up that way there because there's a lot of equipment up
I
there.
was looking at Google Maps trying to just track, follow all the tracks and see where they go. I couldn't do it.
Actually,
It's big. 2,300 acres.
Yeah.
It's big. So it's a little intimidating at first. But once you've done it a few times, you get used to it.
There's a three-rolling stop behind me.
They just put it behind his train because they use the same thing. It's nice behind his train. Yeah, that's the back shop.
sorry guys, I can't see chat, so I can't answer any questions. I can talk though. My locomotive is much simpler to operate than Tim's. It's just a gasoline engine that runs a hydraulic pump and drives two hydraulic motors on the trucks. And the axles are chain driven from that motor. It's actually pretty strong. Pulls pretty good. We weighed this stuff yesterday, and my engine and Tim's weighed pretty much the same amount. Which is about right at 400 pounds. My riding car weighs 220 pounds, and the flat car that's behind it, which is Tim's, that weighs 100 pounds. And what are you giggling at?
Steve Anderson sees. Well, I've got Chuck's shot on solo, right?
Oh, okay, good.
And then Steve says this is like Chuck's normal internet. uh, Bernard wants to know if those are Insel frogs or powered.
What do you say? What? Oh, somebody asked a question.
Said Bernard had a question. Can you hear me, Steve?
Well, Steve's sitting over there. He's not paying attention.
What?
Not of course. That's about true. Okay, Bernard. Chuck's got a good shot of it. Bernard wanted to know if those are Insel frogs or powered. You had to think about it for a second.
I don't know. They're aluminum or they're steel.
they look a lot better than my turnouts.
Oh man, can you imagine how much wiring you'd have to have for that thing if it was electrified?
Too much.
Too much.
Spring.
Spring switch.
Oil in it here. Take off John. I gotta get that.
Yeah, that's an incredible place. Well, I'm all for staying on a little longer if everybody wants to. I don't know who else has got a stream coming up this morning, but
Back shop. If you were one of these, where would you
nope, I don't want that one either. I'll go back to that one. Steve Anderson has got a question. Steve. We'll have to save that, Steve Anderson, because Steve Arnold is gone somewhere to the bathroom or something. Steve. Steve. Where's Steve at?
Okay, let's see. Anybody have any questions?
Steve Anderson's got another question.
Okay.
He's
How
got
do
to
the
sit
cars
down on the
work?
job.
How do what?
How do the cars work? Do people allow you to use them? Or are there club cars you can use?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, here, let me flip this around. They've got that riding car right there. I'm going to put behind my train for Chuck and his granddaughter. But yeah, they've got a whole track full of them. You can just grab them and tow. And in the summertime during the fire season, they actually require you to carry along a gondola. It's a fire gon that's got all firefighting tools and things in case you start a fire. So they require you to have those too. I'm gonna put this to Tim for a second. I gotta go find one of these guys because I need one for a safety chain.
Well, Steve, hang on a second.
Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just steal one.
I've got the guy saying they'll stay on this live stream if we keep it up. So.
That sounds so much better, don't it? Man.
Okay, Tim, now you're getting me excited.
Way better. It's a lot better. That's only at 70 pounds. That sounds good. I'm not even at pressure yet.
I agree, Roy. I think he is teasing us. And Chuck's giving us a great tour.
I'm working up a sweat by walking.
I imagine. Looks like you've walked a long way.
Hey, but you might not be back here till the fall. I'll get there after it gets really hot. Very skinny. Big breaks in these guys. You know, Spencer got it.
Me and him don't get along too well. Of course, I come here so often. I come here for a day, but
I will admit that tender. Now that I'm really looking at it, that's way too big for something else. Yeah, I would have. That's like something I would see behind like a flight or type. Something like a phone a lot bigger, like a 464 or whatever. Something like that. Yeah, way bigger than that locomotive. So
hopefully when I get the new one done, it'll go.
throw that one again.
No, I'm gonna scrap this one. I'm gonna stop it for parts and then throw it after a volcano.
Well, we have a few around here.
Out of here. Let's see how this sounds. I tuned it a little bit.
That's good to me.
Works for me.
Sounds a lot better now. Sounds better than.
Any questions that I missed, Claude?
Hang on a second. I've been watching Chuck's feed.
Oh, okay. What's he showing?
The full size railroad cars and the plows over here.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad you guys can see it.
Well, Steve Anderson said, we all know that Steve hasn't started his training yet. So when the steamer is ready to go and this is live, Steve's engine won't start.
Yeah, you sound me. That was cool.
It started up earlier, first try.
Okay, Bernard wants to know if propane is required for steam, do they have a fill station on site? I don't think they heard yet. Steve has left again.
He's like Elvis.
Yeah.
He's left the building.
Yeah. That's a cool looking little crane car. Steve Anderson says Steve has to stop hydrating during live streams. Uh-oh. Steve's train went bye-bye.
Maybe he'll come pick me up.
You wouldn't mind that, would you?
No. It's a long walk back, it looks like.
Yeah, you've been walking for a while. Well, everybody wants to stay on. I say everybody. There's several want to stay on, so we'll stay on for a little bit. Hey, Steve? He's on his engine, I bet.
Yeah, I hear it running.
I think this question is really more for Tim than it is for Steve, but I think so, Bernard. I think the large stuff is just static display.
Welcome to Young's Mill.
Go walk off again. I'm sure he can't hear us. Nope, let me get that up there. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, hopefully they'll have the top of the mountain open next year when I'm there, and I can get up there and see the water tower and stuff that's at the top.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
Anything I can help you with?
No, I'm just tightening up the injector lines right now.
Sprinklers were coming on.
You get caught in the sprinklers?
Almost. I didn't know a fat guy could run so fast.
Done that on the golf course.
Yeah.
It's always fun when you're getting ready to hit a shot and one turns on right behind you.
Oh, here's some more.
Hey, Tim, can you hear me? No, I guess not. And Bernard said cold morning shower, Chuck.
Yeah. You know, these buildings, if you're sitting on the train going through, they're just the right height.
Yeah. Is that Steve coming back over by the camera, I hope?
Oh, I think he went and picked up that passenger car.
Yeah, well, he's got it back
Riding
over by
car.
10 now.
Yeah. It was over a few tracks. He had to go get it.
Yeah. Oh, that shot. That's cool. There's one of the water towers. Okay, Steve, can you hear me? He keeps moving around. Need to put a leash on that boy. Shot collar.
Wow. I can hear that over here, even off the phone.
I would imagine it's pretty loud. Hey, Tim, can you hear me? No, Tim can't hear me either. Uh-oh, here we go. He's going to run out of frame now.
I'm going to head back that way. Maybe I can catch it.
Yeah, Steve Anderson, you're right. Getting Steve on the phone is like trying to get Shannon to be quiet. Yeah, it looks like Tim's up and running now. He's ready to go. I'd like to get an answer to Bernard's question. That's a pretty good question. But nobody can hear us over there.
They're going to want to pull their train out here. Okay. Pretty soon. Let me go ahead and start getting things switched out. I'm just checking my brakes.
Oh, somebody's moving the camera. I don't think it's Steve, though. It might be your daughter, Chuck, that's moving the camera.
Oh, maybe Steve's got my granddaughter playing the movie for him.
She's over
Yeah.
here.
Are you there,
Is she
Steve?
working the camera?
I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're there.
I'm here.
Bernard had the question, if propane is required for steam, do they have a fill station on site?
Yes, they do. And they
Took a
have
long time to get it, but we got it.
and they also have propane cars that you can just hook to your train. So you don't have to, you can run all week on one car of propane. Yes, I can move it for you. Yeah. Actually,
Hey, Steve.
yes, sir.
Steve Anderson said getting you on the phone is like getting Shannon to be quiet.
Uh-oh. Shots fired.
There's some cool benches.
Now, while you're picking this car up, I'll get out of your way.
We'll get that Aster in a minute, Bernard, when he gets back over.
That's a good idea. My brain.
Believe so, Roy. I think that's the highway that it is. I'll get your question in too, Al, as soon as I get Steve back over by the phone. Or Shannon to quit talking, whichever comes first. Shannon wasn't feeling good today, so he's not here. Excuse me.
I'm back at the moment. Okay.
Okay, Bernard has a question. Ask Tim what tank size he runs and how long it normally lasts. And then I got another question from Almar. How far can you go on one fill up?
Oh, he's got two. I believe they're 2.5 gallon tanks in his tender. I'm sorry, in his fuel car, which is the box car behind the tender. He can run all weekend on that, depending on how much you run. But it lasts a long time.
Hey, Claude?
Yeah.
I'm over here where members load and unload their cars and stuff in and get them on the railroad. This fellow here is unloading some rolling stock.
Oh, there we go. I kind of give you an idea how they move stuff around. Roy Hardwick had a question if it was off Route 97. And I think that's the highway, isn't it, that runs by there? Or the
97.
97, yeah. Yeah, Roy, there is a casino. They just built that from what Steve was telling me. Right there close to Train Mountain. I was going to stay there next year, but they don't allow animals. So, and we're going to have the dogs with us. So we couldn't stay there. But yeah, they do have that right there. And Bernard has another question.
I'll do the safety change.
Oh, he just made a statement. Sorry, Bernard, I'm looking at it wrong. Yeah, it's very interesting, I think, how they've got that set up to, and you see the little dolly that he just came off of, he just rolled that car off of, actually rolls along on rails on its own, almost like an overhead crane, back and forth, so it accesses all those tracks. I mean,
I need to get me one of those engineer hats.
this is a pretty slick setup now. Oh,
Well, then you want to fix
there goes Steve.
the low plate. Right. So you want to fix that. Then fix it. Without. No.
Yeah, just a very, very impressive place.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back here.
Yeah, we were watching you running back and forth.
Oh, you are okay.
Chuck's over watching somebody unload out of their van.
That's Fred.
That's
That's
who?
our buddy Fred.
Fred? Oh,
Fred's
you Fred?
over there unloading.
Okay. Steve was just telling who you were on the camera here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was telling everybody, Steve, how impressive that little dolly is that you unload with.
I'll tell you. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up the camera to point away, and we're going to take both trains over to where Chuck is. So I'm going to leave
Okay.
this running, and I will meet you over there, and then I'll come back and get my phone.
Okay.
Oh, I'm glad you're coming to get me. I walked a long way.
Well, we still got 17 on here watching, so Roy, I don't know if that's a motorcycle scissor lift or if it's bigger than that. It looks like it might be bigger than a motorcycle lift.
No, it's a custom built lift.
Yeah.
Next back, I'm gonna go first.
Hey, Claude.
Yes, sir.
Steve was telling me they have some pretty good grades around here. So the cars have a safety chain. So if they come uncoupled, they don't roll off.
Yeah, I know they've got safety
Runaway
chains.
train.
Yeah, they have to safety chain them together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't have the air brakes or anything on them. So I do know they have that. Bernard, I'm not sure. Yeah, they can all run on the same track. I know during Triennial, you can look on YouTube for Train Mountain Triennial, and you'll see how crowded it gets there. It's one train after another. Yeah, Roy, he was saying they've got over 30 miles of track. And if you go all the way to the top of the mountain, it's a 4-hour round trip. So plenty of places to go. And the more I watch this, the more I want to get up there and see it.
Here comes Steve.
Let me pull forward here. And you're gonna sit in the red seat there.
All right.
Am I clear? That tripod. Gotta move you over here a little tiny bit. Okay, once I get up here and up in that red seat.
Oh, a nice steam locomotive.
Yeah, Rob, I would imagine that is a lot of weight he's carrying, although I'm not sure how heavy the cars are, but Steve was saying one of his was as much as his engine, so I thought that's what he said anyway. He may have been talking about something else. I'm gonna go. Wait for me. Yeah, this is one of those places that you see on film and you go, man, that's a cool place. I'd love to go there sometime. But it's once you get there, it's even better than you thought it was going to be. It's one of those places that once you see it in person, it just takes on a whole different feel. Yeah, you're right, Roy. Like I say, you can go on YouTube and see a lot. Steve, that's how I found Steve anyway, was on the Train Mountain videos that he put on early on. And yeah, they've got several tunnels, I think, and several bridges also. That's a big place, very big place.
That's amazing. This van fits 7 pieces.
Al said he said engine 400 pounds, cars 150 to 200 pounds. That's still a lot of weight in the van, but it's probably a 1-ton van or at minimum a 3/4 ton. A little beefed up suspension, I would imagine.
Well, he put a bottle jack underneath the rear end to hold it up. Here comes the steam off the van now. Wow, that's nice.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
It breaks on the back, but heavy. That's really nice. That's Tim
Uh-oh.
here in the background.
I hear the train coming.
Yeah. He's rolling into the station over there. Here comes Steve. Took him a while to get over here on the rails.
I'm gonna put you on solo so we can get as big a picture as possible.
Kaden didn't ride with you?
She probably wanted to go with the steams, Chuck.
Everybody, Brad. Brad, you're on live YouTube.
He changed his hat. He said he had to get dressed up for it. Put his engineer hat. I am impressed that all this come in this van. That
I know. Isn't it
is
something?
well packed.
Plus all the camping gear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Efficiency. And then how quick you can.
Still got the caboose inside.
A what? This locomotive went on its side about 5 years ago at the Medford Railroad Park. Oh, sure, go ahead. They had a swivel turntable on it, and it rolled off the end of it, landed on its nose, and rolled on its side.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh my! And Fred, cool and collected, he's like, no big deal. Happened. We'll fix it. Like, I'd have had a heart attack. Seriously, I was like,
It's kind of like when I was flying airplanes and people say, "Well, what happens when you crash one?" I said, "You build another one." You know, it's going to happen.
I was telling about when your locomotive went off the table when Medford laid on its side, and you were just like, it happens.
Hey, Steve, Bernard says, "Tell Fred we all said hi and we love his setup."
Oh, I don't know if you heard that, but yeah, Fred, they said to tell you hi and they love your setup. Well, we got what, about 15 people watching now?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, it's a YouTube show that we do every Saturday morning. It's a model railroading thing that we do at my house and Claude's house in Texas or in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
And we did it this year, this week, because we're out here. Look at that. After comes Tim. Break on stuff.
Caveman wrap. All right. I don't know how far that is around there.
It's not very far. It's just a loop that runs right around. There's a big giant turntable over there.
Yeah, I didn't make it that far
Oh
yet.
man, it's. But during the training,
Yeah.
everyone has a training.
Oh, there's Tim coming there.
What time is it, Claude?
What time is it? Let's see. It is. My time is 10:25. That's Central Time.
Okay, so yeah, I figured we had to be over time, so that's cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. But most everybody's staying. We still got 15 on, so.
And Fred will be firing his up, and it doesn't take very long to get his going either.
Well, with Chuck being there, it turned into a really good show because he gave us a great tour.
Yeah, did you show on the propane?
I did.
Okay.
I was going to go there next, and then you guys come around.
Yeah, there's because they were asking about propane, and there's a little propane yard over the tank cars that you can hook up to the so you don't have to worry about running out of gas.
Well, Steve, I'm starting to think we might have to spend more than one day over there.
I told you, I said you're going to need a couple days here. Yeah.
Well, we'll be a day there and 3 in Grants Pass, so
yeah,
we might have to run back over there or something.
it's up to you. I'm all for that. I mean, she can only kill me once, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Unless she brings you back.
Of course, they team up on us they may never find the remains.
Oh, that's true. I never thought about that. Get the wives ganging up on it. Oh boy, I'll be dead for sure. Right. Yeah, she came here one time. It's like it's too big. I don't want to come back. Oh, she doesn't get trains anyway. What's wrong with that?
So where did Tim go? Is he?
He's
Oh, is that him
coming.
coming up?
Yeah.
Normally they fire up over here.
Chuck Bernard says thanks for the tour. Steve
Hey, I'm
Anderson
glad I
says
could do it.
thanks for being there and giving us the tour.
Really?
Yes.
Made the show so much better.
I'll do it until the phone dies.
Yeah.
I got
John?
27% more.
Well, I should go get mine because it's still running over there.
John said he agreed. Great tour.
I'm gonna run over and get my phone.
Hey, tell my granddaughter to come
Oh yeah.
stick with us.
Hey, Roy, if it was just me, I'd talk him into that. But the wife is going to be with me. The wife and the dogs.
Yeah. Especially for a guy like me, I don't have to bend over that much.
Yeah, that's just too cool.
Yeah, those are your steam safety valves. Those are set at 120 psi. So the way you got what they do is if your pressure gets up to 120, it pops off, and that's your maximum operating pressure. Yeah, with these ones though, you'd have to get it so incredibly pressurized that it probably would be possible. I hydroed this up to 300 psi. Generally, when I do a hydro test, though, I go up to about 190 pounds of pressure, 190 to 200 pounds of pressure, which is about, I think it's half. I don't remember what the number is. It's like half the amount of what or half of double the amount. Almost double the amount of my operating pressure, basically. So I hydro it at that, and I know that if I'm running at 125, I'm going to be just fine.
So on your running gear right here, what's the brass rings for?
Those are, I don't know if you can see it too well, but you can see the fire burning down in a minute. A blue turned up a little. Yeah, there. I'm going to take you guys along for a trip over to the steaming bays.
Okay, we'll flip the camera around.
Oh, you don't have to. I'm just picking up.
Oh, I thought you meant on the train.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. I'm just moving everything over to the steaming bay and picking up.
Did you get another? That's cool.
There's here in Oregon, over in Woodburn, there's a Southern Pacific M6 Mogul that's on static display out in the park, and I went there and I measured a bunch of stuff on it, took a bunch of pictures, and then I got an actual blueprint,
Got a lot of junk in there.
the original
It's
100 feet Southern Pacific tender, and I used that for all my measurements.
Just scale it down to
Yeah,
and build your own, huh?
I had to do all the math to scale it all down.
Right.
Which isn't, it's not hard to do that.
No.
You have to convert it all into inches and multiply it by, you have to divide it by like 7 or 8, and you get your scale measurement. And however many inches it is there would be a foot in full size.
You said you built this car for your.
This is one of the cars that came with it.
Oh, okay.
I can take this off here so you can see.
Got the propane tanks in the car.
This is the propane system. So it's got both of them. It's got two horizontal propane tanks and then the regulator there in the middle.
Is this just for water?
Hey, Chuck,
Yeah.
ask him. We got a question from Bernard. He said he wants to know. He was asking Fred, but I would imagine it would apply to Tim's also. Does he use the air to start the flue draft until the head pressure builds enough for steam?
Yeah. So the air, I don't know if you want to come on this side, I can show you a little bit better.
Okay. Easier to walk up and around than stuck under something.
Smart move, Chuck.
Regular octave quick disconnect into the cap here, and that comes into the cap via this line right here. It comes up via this line to this valve, and when I have the air hooked up to an air compressor, it powers my turret valve, which allows me to run my blower so that I can get my draft to light up.
You get that?
About half of it. It was breaking up pretty good.
About half of it?
Basically, yeah, I use I use automotive quick disconnect and just hooks up the air and it runs the blower, because with this engine being propane, the fuel is already pressurized and I don't have to worry about running an atomizer for oil off of air. So all I have to worry about is the blower.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we heard
Full-size
that.
one,
Yeah, that came over good.
on the full size one though, we do the same thing. We hook it up to air when we do a cold light off. It runs the blower, but also on an oil burner, you have to run your atomizer because oil is not pressurized like propane is. So you have an atomizer at the front of the firebox, and it shoots a jet of air until we switch it over to steam. It shoots a jet of air from the front of the firebox towards the back. And when you add oil to it, it takes that liquid oil and turns it into a mist,
Oh, okay.
a flammable mist into the firebox, and that's what burns. But with this one being the fuel is already atomized, and it's got a under here for propane, it's got an air atomizer underneath here. So this is where the propane comes in, and it automatically mixes with the air.
But you locked up, Chuck. Oh, we lost Chuck. We lost everybody. What if they got run over by a train? Well, guys, we'll hang around here for just a few minutes and see if they come back. Excuse me. If not, we'll go ahead and sign off. But well, there's Chuck back. It'll take his video a second.
Back.
There we go.
Steve wants to know if you missed him.
Did you miss it? One thing I want to do is I want to get new marker lights, ones that actually work. These are just
Yeah, we lost everybody there for a minute.
Yeah, I think I hit a button when I was trying to show you underneath here where valves were for the propane stuff.
Oh, there you go.
I want a steam water pump.
I want to show you all of that stuff over there. You guys can see it come out of that van. One,
Yeah,
two,
all that stuff was in the
three,
van, right?
four. Oh yeah, he had it packed in there real good.
Man. I'd shake his hand just for being able to get all that in the van.
Steve's got his camera back on. I'm going to walk over here and show you the propane deals before my phone dies.
Well, mine's
Okay.
gonna probably die pretty soon. Let's see. Camera.
Oh, we don't want that.
You want that?
There we go.
Nice. Come on. Whoops. Wrong one. Settings. Back camera.
Look at this big old snow plow.
Man, that is a big one.
Got side wings on both sides.
Yeah, snowplows can be pretty awesome to watch in use. Uh-oh, we may have lost Steve for good.
Here's the propane tank that Steve was talking about.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. Little miniature tank cars. Love it. Steve's wanting back in.
Well, I gotta figure out how to do it. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
So Chuck's way over there looking at.
Yeah, we were looking at the tank cars. That's amazing how much stuff he got out of that van.
Isn't that something?
God. I thought I was good with airplanes.
How much stuff was in there?
Got an airport right next door too.
Yeah, there's an airplane flying over.
Oh, the weather is so much nicer than it was yesterday. My God, it was so wet here.
Newcastle Coal Company.
Hey, Claude, I'll tell you what. While he's over there, I'm going to walk over and show you guys the main building and the turntable.
Okay.
Since the Wi-Fi is over here, it shouldn't have an issue.
You got a diesel fuel station.
Now I'm going to start over and show you one of the control panels that control the blocks. They're all working automatic block signals here, just like the real thing. We got a guy that wired this that used to be a signal maintainer for the railroad, so he knew
Oh, that helps.
Get it prototypical. But yeah, the back shop is way over there, and the front gate and the steaming bays that we were just at. Then the main building over here. And this is pretty typical of the control panels that are around this area until you get off the mountain. And you just punch the route that you want to go, and you'll get a signal indication on the bridge, and you just proceed accordingly.
But they're during the meets, there's actually a guy that will man this tower right here, and he's this faster. You call him and he'll line the route. But if there's nobody here, you can do it for yourself.
There's about 12 bays here between me and that first steam locomotive. So lots of room for people to unload their stuff.
And if somebody
Yeah.
wants, you can contact Joyce at the main office, and you can rent little rooms here. There's a few little rooms that you can rent.
Oh, cool. Are they pet friendly?
I think everything here is pet friendly.
They let Steve here.
Yeah, they let me
What?
here. They let me
That's
here.
They had the gate in open for me this morning.
Now this is the backside of Central Station, and this is the turntable over here. A lot of tracks that go 180 degrees off this turntable. And like I was telling Chuck, during the triennial, every track in this property has a train on it. There's people that come from all over the world. Okay.
Wow, that's a nice turntable.
It goes all the way around.
Man. It's hard to even stop to think about how much money they've got tied up in this place.
Oh, it's staggering.
How long's the mountain been open? I mean, how long? When did they start this?
Tim and I were talking about that. I'm wanting to say early 80s, by a gentleman named Quentin Breen, who bought the property. And there's a long story about how Train Mountain came to be, but you can look online. It's called it's trainmtn.org, and that'll take you to the Train Mountain website. And there's a whole history page of how this thing got started and how it almost didn't come to be. And long story short is it was, I believe the property was in bankruptcy or some such thing. And some rich lawyer railroaders got together and drew up a plan to get the property out of legal problems. And so now it's kind of a corporation. I don't know if it's a corporation or not, but it could, if somebody ever bought this property, they can't change anything. They have to take it the way it is and maintain it, so that it'll never be sold, because nobody's going to want to do that.
Nobody's going to want to do that. Not
So
any one individual, anyway.
Hey,
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
Is this campground down here? Is this part of the Train Mountain?
Yeah, there's an RV area down there that you can that has full hookups.
Holy smokes! There's a lot of people down there.
Well, a lot of them are here all the
that.
time. There's members that actually live here full time. Some people just store their stuff. But I'm at basically the top, and if you look way down that mountain, I don't know if you can see it, but there's tracks as far as you can see, except for their trees. It's too bad you guys can't do a run so you can see it, but I don't think the Wi-Fi would work that far.
Mine will work a little ways. I'm not on Wi-Fi though.
Oh,
but I'd have to charge my phone up. I got 18%.
Yeah, I think I got about the same. So they may just die on us. But no,
Roy Eltham says it's definitely worth watching the replay on this one. I'd have to agree, Roy. I think this is one of our best shows.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch the replay too. It's like
Like I say, and I'll say it again, Chuck, it was Chuck being here really helped with
yes,
walking
absolutely.
around and showing us while you guys were getting stuff ready at the maintenance shed.
Now this section right here, if you're coming from the bottom of the mountain back up to Central Station from way down there, this area right there's a I can't zoom in, I don't think, but it's a 3.5% grade going up that right side track, and that is really steep. That's the steepest part on the railroad.
Yeah, it's just exactly, Rob. It's amazing. I was just getting ready to say that. The more I see of it, the more I think that. It's
Definitely well worth a membership.
I would imagine. What's the membership cost?
I think it's like $75 or something.
Oh wow, that's cheaper than my flying club was.
Yeah.
You can go all the way up to $500 if you wanted to have meets here and stuff. You could go up to $500 a year.
But what I do is I just pay the annual membership, and then if I go to a meet, then I just pay the extra for whatever the meet is.
Right.
Yeah, it's a crazy place.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, I got a feeling we're going to have to slide off of here, as much as I hate to, because you guys are going to lose phone power.
Yeah, because mine's like telling me that I'm getting tired.
Yeah, we're up to almost 2 hours. So.
Oh shoot, yeah. Well, yeah, we could wind it up, and because I really can't show anything more unless we actually were out on the railroad, But I'll be shooting some videos and posting them to YouTube, so you can all check on that.
Yeah. If you guys go to Steve's channel, he's got a bunch of videos already posted of Train Mountain, so you can get kind of a shot of what it's like to ride around in it.
Yeah, I've got one that's about 3 years ago that's got like 100,000 views.
Roy says Vinny's got a premiere in about 11 minutes, so yeah, we do need to wrap it on that.
Better jump then.
Well,
Right.
Chuck, thanks for being there today, man.
Hey, it's my pleasure. I'm glad I got to come. It's the first time me and Steve have met in person.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we all got to hang out.
Well, Steve, tell Tim thank you.
I'll do it. Hey, Tim, they all said thank you. They said thank you. We're taking off. All righty.
All righty, guys. Well, we'll call that good. And glad you could be here and see this, because it was pretty special, I thought. I had a really good time with this one.
Can't wait to look at the replay.
Yeah, I might have to watch it again. All righty, guys. We'll call that good, and you guys take care, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Steve, you and Chuck have fun today.
We will. We'll be thinking about it.
Yeah, I bet you will. All righty. Bye, everybody.
Okay, my friend.